Again.
That's a decent fish.
Come on.
Yes. Well done, mate. Well done.
Sweet as.
Sweet as, fella. We've got a photographable fish. And he looks wide. He's definitely
Have a quick look.
40, I would say. Yeah, we do want a quick look. Oh yes, he's even bigger than 40. Yeah, mate. That'll do to start with.
I know what fish that is as well.
That's a big old lump. Here's Chris with his 62 pounder. Made him very happy indeed, as you can tell from the face. New PB. Yeah, let him go when you're ready, mate.
Thank you, my French friend. What's that, the 4th biggest fish in the lake?
Well done, dude.
Well done.
Thank you very much. PB, mate.
Oh, Christ.
Morning,
Congratulations. Beautiful.
Andy and Tasha, just nice and straight out of bed. Right, we're at Echo Pool then in France, which is not far from the Dordogne area. Takes probably about 6 hours to get here from Calais. Just down here for 5 days. I'm down here with my mate Chris Felton, and got a nice invite off the owners Tasha and Andy. And I must say it's an absolutely beautiful venue, this place. It's only 2 acres in size, and it's right out in the middle of nowhere. Very, very picturesque, very, very scenic, nice and serene, and only 2 acres in size. It's fair to say that with a 70 pounder and around about 4 different 60s and quite a few different 50s and a decent head of 40s, it is extremely well stocked for its size. Now, just myself and Chris on the water. Chris is on the left hand side, I'm on the right hand side, and all the fishing is done from one bank, which is where we're set up now. And most of the fish are either caught from just on that far bank over there, in the far corner I should say, towards the overhangs, and directly opposite us as well, and also to the right where there's the overhangs at my side of the swim. Now I've had 5 fish for myself so far, up to 44.12. Chris has had just the one, which is a new PB for him at 62. So with only 2 nights into the session, it's pretty good. It's going very well. And most of my fish have all come to either singles or stringers, cast just under those overhangs, not necessarily right underneath them, but just on the edge of the slope where it's around about 5 or 6 foot. And Chris's big un came from just to the right of that little pontoon jetty area that you can see over there. Chris is mainly using little bags and little bits and pieces, but we have put a nice big bed of bait out tight to the far bank over where you're looking at the moment. Oh, that was a good fish it just showed, just over there. Just as I was doing that. Good old fish. I mean, it's just been quite a lot of rain here this morning, but it's just stopped. And since it stopped, there's been a few good fish shown, I should say. As well as a few fizzing up on the bottom as well, so we're pretty optimistic that over the next few hours we might get 1 or 2 more fish. Middle of the afternoon, and just chatting with the lads. Just had a couple of bleeps on my right hand rod, and the tip was arcing round to the right, and picked up from just in the margin, just to my right over there, but the fish is just kited on a tight line right across the lake almost. So I'm not saying yet how big it is. I don't think it's probably as big as Chris's from this morning, but it certainly feels better than those littler fish that we've been catching. It's starting to tap a little bit then.
Really?
Yeah, it did. Still feels good though.
Yeah.
Getting the old heart going and nice plodding echo pool fish. Hopefully it's a decent one. Right, all of Andy's fish have got to be weighed and photographed in the water. It might sound quite a complicated thing to do, but it's actually very easy. A pair of chest waders is what you need. All the rest of the equipment is all provided for you. So Andy's here with the bar. We've already zeroed the sling. So just let a bit of the water out first. Check all the fins are okay. She looks well. And on she goes. Got a weight, mate?
30. Just under 32.
Yep.
Yeah, 31 and a half, yep.
31 and a half, very nice. And the condition of these fish is really testing me to the rules really, because they're all in absolutely fantastic condition. One or two of them get caught a few times, but their mouths are in good nick. Flanks are lovely, no scales missing, and really it looks a lot of work to do this kind of stuff, but it's very easy, and obviously we all want to catch nice fish, so let's get the camera ready and get some photos. Just going to show you that fish that I've just landed then, just to show that it's not just the big ones that battle like they're all big, because this one, although it's a nice fish and a big fish at 32 pounds, it's not one of the monsters of the lake. Gave us a nice old deep battle for about 10 minutes, plodding around. Fantastic fish. Let's put it back.
And incidentally, I've just named it Nipple.
Nipple? Yeah, it's just called it Nipple because it's got a little nipple on its flank there that you can see.
It's got a big nipple.
Brilliant.
Nipple.
Cheers, mate. Day 4 then, and it's been a little bit quiet today. We've not had any takes. Last action we had was yesterday evening, just before dark, when I had an 18-pound common. Chris lost one as well, and probably about an hour before that I lost a really good fish, about halfway across, which took about 10 minutes to get in. We've been here for 4 days so far, and before we got here the lake had not been fished for 4 days, so when we arrived it was a little bit easier than what it is now, so we've got to try and work out the way forwards. And the baited spot that we've got out in the middle of us on the far bank, that did 3 takes yesterday, but 2 of those takes we unfortunately pulled out of, which is always, it's one of those things that always seems to happen the more you fish these small waters. The fish know that you're there, and when they know that you're there they start getting picky with the bait. So tried fiddling around with the rig, see if that'll work, and at the moment it hasn't done anything, so we're just sitting and waiting. It is normal, I think, that the more you get into a week of fishing on these small waters, on these holiday type venues, the fishing does tend to get a little bit more tricky, but we shall see. Reduced the bait on the 2 rods that I've got off the bait. I'm only fishing on singles now rather than 2 or 3 baits around it, and trying to work out what the way forwards is. We're still pretty confident that something's going to happen, but when, I don't know. There's rain water coming in now from 2 or 3 different areas on the water, which could introduce a little bit of oxygen, a little bit of some insect larvae, etc., that the fish might go and investigate. So we've got baits on those areas, and it is just a case of sitting and waiting. We've only got 2 days left now to try and get another whacker out, and it's going to be interesting trying to work out which way to go. I think the worst thing you can do in this situation is sit and wait and leave the rods in position and sit back and do nothing. I think you've got to try and work out where they're going to be, try and move those rods about, and certainly tonight I'm going to bring all 3 of my rods in from the far bank and drop them in close and try and fish in the areas where most anglers, I would have thought, wouldn't probably fish. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Right, a bit of a quiet night last night, a lot of rain, and looked really carpy. And I got up this morning and decided that obviously something wasn't quite right with the rods, which often happens on lakes like this, that are nice and small. Sometimes you need to redo your rods nice and early. So what I've done is just came out, had a look at the spots, redid the baits, and it obviously worked because 20 minutes later I've got a nice fish on the bank. It's just weighed in at 44.12, so it's my first 40 from Echo Pool. Really happy with it, and it's a nice scaly one as well. Not as scaly as the first fish that I had, but nice big scales on its flanks. Lovely start to the morning. We've still got 2 nights left as well, so myself and Chris are still very confident of getting another decent fish on the bank, because we've got a baited area going over the far side, which we've not yet put a rod to. Just put stringers and singles and little bags out so far, and kept an area nice and clear and of lines, and just kept the bait going there. So hopefully we're going to get something off that during the course of the day. So another look at him. That's a lovely fish, that is. It's a really nice fish. Nice big scales on it. Very happy. Right, true to carp angling fashion with myself. I don't know what it's like for Chris, but all picked up on the last night. All seemed to go slow during the course of the week, and last night it got nice and mild. Temperatures picked up. I had to take the thermals off, take the sleeping bag cover off, and we managed 3 fish during the night. And bearing in mind, during the course of the week we've only had 1 fish in the dark. I think it's fair to say it's probably just about to kick off, and we've just packed up. We've got our old long trek home, and at these fish in this lake, these gorgeous fish, we're about to probably have a big old munch. This one weighed 46, and we've got some cracking names at Echo Pool. This one's named Janet. We've got Colin the Carp, Tash, Janet, what was the one we caught earlier in the week? Barrel.
G-spot.
G-spot, God, some cracking names. It's a lovely old fish though, this one is. And apparently it's well up in weight. It weighed 39 pounds last year, so nice to see it at 46.